Good afternoon. There she is. Hello. Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Rotary Club of Gainesville Tuesday meeting at the Cade Museum. Please do silence your cell phones, and if you're watching in the future on YouTube, be sure to register your participation by sending an email to info@rotarygainesville.org. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag For our invocation today, Lori Vidal.
You're just glad that Enwald doesn't have a joke up here. So anyway, hey, listen, just a quick comment about life in Gainesville. Isn't it a joy this week to drive in Gainesville with no students around? Isn't that great? It's actually somewhat human around here. But let's pray together. As we gather today, with a focus on our reason for being together, to have a healthy and growing Rotary, we thank you, Father, for your wisdom from above, encouraging us from Holy Writ, to consider that we may spur one another on towards love and good deeds, not giving up meeting together, but let us encourage one another, and all the more as we see the day approaching. Today is a new day, a new month, another transition in leadership here in Rotary coming up. And we ask for encouragement among us to spur one another on to love and good deeds as we continue meeting together. I pray in the wise name of our Father. Amen.
We invite you to be seated, and we invite guests and visiting Rotarians to remain standing for introductions to the club. Matthew will be around with the microphone.
Good afternoon, Rotarians. Ryan Thompson. We are in the midst of district royalty here. Joining us today is our current district governor, Mickey Ulmer. Incoming district governor, Dale Moe. Incoming district governor-elect, Bo Norton. And incoming district governor nominee, Ed Lombard.
Sorry to make you run all that way, Matthew. Jane Ordquist, I have as my guest today, Patrick Ferran. He is with Merrill Lynch, a financial advisor. Please welcome him.
Fellow Rotarians, Randy Caton with my returning guest and former physician, Bobby Slayton.
Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us today. To help us celebrate our June birthdays this month, Brendan Shortley.
All right, please join me in giving a warm welcome to those who decided to stay on the earth yet another year by celebrating their birthday this month. So please bring up $1 if your name is called and you are here. If not, we'll honor them in their absence and try not to make fun of them. All right, Troy Adams, Daniel Alvarado, Roger Brill, Joe Couthan, Marion Colburn, I saw you earlier, Marion, get up here with your $1. Mary Crane, you too. Don Davis, Patrick Dodds, Cornelia Holbrook, Marcia Kiner, Helen Kornblum, Janice Legler, Annie Orlando, Rob or Bob Page, Eric Parker, Michael Pellet, and JT Thomas. Give you a moment to come on up and throw money at me. Thank you, sir. All right, and it's not over yet. We're going to sing happy birthday to these wonderful Rotarians. So join me together on three. 1, 2, 3. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Rotarians. Happy birthday to you, and many more.
Thank you, Brendan. And now, to get today's program started, please join me in welcoming our president, Ryan Thompson, to the podium.
Good afternoon. Hope everybody's doing well. Today we have a special opportunity for our District Governor, Mickey Ulmer, to induct our new members that have joined this Rotary year. So if the following will please join me at the podium with your sponsors. Eric Atria, Jonathan Dreyer, Gary Ellison, Barbara Gamble, Virginia Grant, Felix Haynes, Samantha Howell, Rebecca Nagy, Jerry Sayer, and Nancy Short. And Renata Wassman could not be here today.
You ready? Fellow Rotarians and guests, on behalf of the Rotary Club of Gainesville, Florida, and District 6970, it is my privilege to induct new members today. I'm waiting for them. It's okay. Take your time. New members. The club has extended to each of you its hand of friendship and membership in our worldwide organization, which is dedicated to providing service to others, promoting integrity, and advancing world understanding, goodwill, and peace through its fellowship of business, professional, and community leaders. You are invited, but it will be by your own actions that you truly become a Rotarian. Learn all you can about Rotary. Strengthen your own leadership and communication skills by participating in the activities of this club and our district. Engage with your fellow Rotarians in their plans and projects to provide service to others in your community and in the world. Then I encourage you to follow your own passions, find new opportunities to serve, and bring those ideas back to the club so it can increase its wealth of service done. And of equal importance, as you meet others with your same qualities of character and commitment, invite them to join the family of Rotary. If you understand and agree to follow these ideals as I have outlined, please say, I will. When we join Rotary, we become part of something bigger than ourselves. Through membership, you new members will enjoy our network of leaders and professionals, and as your fellow Rotarians, we commit ourselves to make you feel welcome and included. Beyond enriching our own lives and those of our families, the relationships we build foster understanding across communities and cultures around the globe. 40 years ago, I stood in front of this club as you do today. So it is my great pleasure to make two presentations. First, I ask your sponsors to affix to your lapels a Rotary pin by which we and the people throughout the world will recognize you as Rotarians. Second, for the 75 clubs and nearly 3,200 members in Northeast Florida, I am giving each of our new members a District 6970 pin that symbolizes our Rotary home, the Crown District of Florida. New members, now you have two pins. Two pins so far. I ask you to wear at least one of them every day. With that, I declare all of them duly inducted into the Rotary Club of Gainesville and the worldwide Rotary family of over 1.4 million Rotarians. Rotarians and friends, please rise and join me in welcoming Rotary's newest members.
Like 2 rows. We're having 2 rows now. Thank you, Mickey, for doing that for us. I'm very proud of our new members. They've been fully engaged in attending our regular meetings, our fun and fellowships, and our service projects. I truly appreciate getting to know each of you and know you're going to make great Rotarians. Okay. And at this time, I'd like to bring up Bo Norton to introduce the District 6970 D. Brent Williams Spirit of Rotary Award.
Thank you, President Ryan, and good afternoon, everybody. It is indeed a pleasure and an honor to be here today. And if I could, bring it up, okay. And just like RLI, make sure I got my slide advancer working correctly. The purpose of what we're here to do today is to recognize an outstanding Rotarian within this club. But I want to give you a little background on the award, right? The Brent Williams Spirit of Rotary Award recognizes an outstanding Rotarian within the district who's demonstrated extraordinary service and leadership in Rotary for at least 10 years and at least 2 of Rotary's 5 avenues of service. right? This award bears the name of the D. Brent Williams, who, from District 6970, embodied the spirit of Rotary through devoted service and leadership. And Brent's reason or passion for Rotary began in 1989 when he joined this club. Right? And he served as president and then moved up the ranks, eventually as district governor, as well as a number of positions within the zone, which goes on above the district. Right? And then, on top of that, he was also nominated and served on the district's Council of Legislation for Rotary International. He was a discussion leader for Rotary Leadership Institute, or RLI, and later the faculty chair. You know Brent because of the time that, of course, he had spent in this club, and also because of his career in public broadcasting, right? And I understand that he was known for his golden voice. Is that correct? Oh, yeah. All right. And with WUFT TV, Channel 5, and of course FM Classic 89, and Nature Coast 90, another one, right? But while he was at these stations, Brent worked in, of course, community relations and got involved in fundraising, right? And he put all of his talents into raising funds for the community, for Rotary, and for the Rotary Foundation. And of course, as you know, in 2013, he was diagnosed with ALS and continued to work with Rotary until he passed away in 2016. Now, I told Naomi that she was not familiar with it. I was going to quote her today. Yes, indeed, because Rotary has said that, well, it was truly Brent's calling. It gave him a sense of purpose and the opportunity to help others, and not for personal gain. It gave him that sense of helping because he wanted to. He was a kind and gentle man, loved by many, and he lived a life that was personified through the spirit of Rotary. And that's why this award, ladies and gentlemen, was created. And by the way, the first recipient of this award sits in this room. Do you know that? Some do. Ben Camping. Give him a hand. You bet. So, the reason we're here today is because this year's award recipient for 2024 and 2025 is in this room as well. So this is the award, and this goes along, and this will be displayed, by the way, Saturday at the district conference. Okay? So who's this year's recipient? None other, okay, than PDG Wes Eubank. Give him a hand. Woohoo! Not yet. Hold on. You bet. Please have a seat. I've got a few comments, and then we're going to bring Wes up. And before we bring Wes up, I also understand that there may be a few others in the audience that have some comments as well, okay? So as you know, Wes has been a member of this club for 44 years. Remarkable. And he knows, and through his example, he has set that spirit of Rotary spirit and told and shown everybody what it means. Wes, thank you. I mean it. You have served in just about every position in this club and district governor. You've been instrumental in the Wild Game Feast. Am I correct? Yep, absolutely. Feast master, as I understand it. You've done a tremendous amount of work in the community. And through your efforts and the others that helped you, you established a wild game feast foundation to support that, correct? And through that foundation, ladies and gentlemen, over the years, that foundation has donated over $3 million to local charities, right? That is something you can all be proud of. It's tremendous. Give yourselves a round of applause for that one. And of course, outside of Rotary, Wes has been active in the community. He was on the Alachua County School Board for 8 years. He helped create the East Side Culinary Arts Program. How many are familiar with that? Yeah, okay. And if you're not, this is a program designed to help aspiring people who want to work in the food industry, to give them an avenue to do that. He was also instrumental on the board of the YMCA, the Big and Little Sisters program, and dedicated an awful lot of time to Guardian Ad Litem program. Definitely a tremendous program. Thank you, Wes. So Wes and his wife, Marcia, former elementary school teacher for 40 years. They've been long-term supporters of education in Alachua County. And their focus in early literacy led to their support of the Rotary Reading Safari. And this is a program that brings Risk elementary students to the Santa Fe College Zoo, to tour the zoo, and we're also to learn about the animals from zoo keepers and students. Now, Wes's keen interest in computer programming and systems has fostered a friendship with Mark Landham, who used to own DACDB. Now, how many are familiar with DACDB? All right, so that's another acronym that we use, District and Club Database. That database, ladies and gentlemen, is what the district uses and all the clubs use, and that is the background, if you will, for all the admin that we do. So Wes was instrumental in creating that and has really helped our district run smoothly. Now, what you may not know is he has a background in electrical engineering. Did you know that? He worked for IBM for many years. And when he did so, he was working on the navigation systems for the Apollo program. So I guess if you were to talk to the folks like Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Mike Collins in Apollo 11, they were probably pretty glad that Wes was working on that, because that helped them get there and back, you know, prior to GPS. How do you do that? But again, his background, tremendous. So Wes has a motto: service isn't service if you get too much credit. And although Wes doesn't seek any adulation or credit, he's someone that those who know him and his good works believe he is so deserving of. So Wes, thank you very much. That's it. Yes, sir. Please have a seat. I have some photos that were forwarded to me of Wes in action, if you will. And then a few more. So what I'd like to do before we bring Wes up is, I understand that there are some members in the audience here today that have a few comments or a few remarks that they would like to present. So can I call those folks to come forward, please?
Bo, thank you so much. And thank you for our delegation to come to our club today for this special occasion. I will say, Bo, that, did you take my speech? because what I had prepared basically was the nomination form for the district, and it includes many of Bo's remarks. But there's, some heartfelt things. And also, for the record, I want to mention that Dana, did I see you here today? Dana Nimini and Grace Horvath were instrumental in getting the Reading Safari program started out at Santa Fe. But Wes and Marcia took that mantle and went with it because of their love of education. Early education of children is so vital. As you mentioned, Marcia's been was a teacher for over 40 years, an elementary school teacher, and Wes with the school district for 8 years as a elected member, and did help bring computer systems to the Alachua County School District. One of the points you brought up is about the Wild Game Feast, and I'm sure, Jason, who's been all over this, and Matthew and Linda, this is the new generation of the Wild Game Feast. Now, I'm kind of in the middle between them and Wes. And Wes was one of the founders, along with the foundation, 501c3 to handle the money from the feast so that it could then be handed out to community, nonprofits, but in a really structured way. There's a vetting process. There's a voting process. So it's really done well. And, I consider Wes one of my mentors in life. I don't have many that are my major mentors, but he's one of them. I've learned so much from him. And I just going to really quickly, don't make sure I don't want to forget anything. But you got the highlights there, Bo. You did it. Thank you. But culinary arts program, that was big. And now they come out every year with us to the Wild Game Feast and Seafood Spectacular and provide us with all these excellent, delicacies that they make. And you probably don't know there's a voting process to see the students compete out of the school, and some Rotary members go to the school out at East Side, and they vote on the items that are going to be on the menu for this year. So it's a big deal for the students. So it's just a really, I don't know, it's just really interesting to see all of these pieces that work because Wes and Marcia, where are you, Marcia? All right, there you go. That have had a hand in these events. It takes a team. It's not one individual. It takes a team. But anyway, again, Reading Safari, that's been a great program. Thank you, Dana and Grace, for getting that going. And Marcia's been really carrying that torch in a big way. All right, I don't want to go on too long, but I just would like to say, much like Brent Williams, Wesley was a leader in his professional career and then brought that talent and passion to Rotary service. And those who know him knows that he makes a positive impact wherever he goes. Our district and our club have been very fortunate to have people like them and Ben Campen. We've had these people in our club, and we should be so thankful. Thank you.
Thank you, Greg. So Ryan had 3 minutes. So in terminology for craft talk, that means I got a minimum of 10 minutes, right? So I did not really prepare anything knowing the same thing, that so many recurrent themes would be shared today. In my 10+ year venture here in Rotary, I've had many, many blessings. I had 2 significant blessings that I'd share. And that was one, being able to serve with Brent Williams in my early days of Rotary and as a mentor. And then over the past 10 years, really becoming entrenched in this club and the Wild Game Feast and understanding the impact that Wes makes, I've had the blessing of serving alongside him, my fellow Rotarian and dear friend. The quote, service above self, service is not service if you get too much credit, has resonated for over 10 years with me. And I've continued to look at what does service above self mean? And it can mean many things to many people. But I'll tell you, for me, and I think would be hard to contend, that if you were to look up that virtual dictionary of service above self, there'd be 2 shining Lights, 2 pictures, Brent Williams and Wes Eubank. Thank you.
All right, that's really hard to follow, actually. Just like following Matthew on the from being a feast master and trying to keep up with his pace, because it's pretty amazing. So I just have a couple comments, and then just a couple brief stories, and I'm out of the way. And really, the first comment is any of the pictures that you see at the feast site when there's someone working. Just to be clear, it's Wesley, okay, and followed by Matthew, and then some of us kind of stand around and help a little bit. So Wesley is in great shape, but you will find him under the Performing Arts Center fixing some type of pipe or wire. Every single electrical wire that's run through there, which we'll need to get that from you because they are everywhere out there, is done by Wesley. So, I personally found Wesley through Rotary, but more specifically through the Seafood Spectacular and the Wild Game Feast. And that's really where our relationship kind of formed. And I would say that's the same for many of us in here. Any of the fellowship activities outside of Rotary, that's really where you make connections and friends. And I can say that today Wesley is definitely a major mentor for me. And I look up to Wesley in many, many ways because he is an engine that doesn't stop. So when I complain to Wesley, I say, my dad used to say, I would complain, but nobody will listen. Wesley is a great sounding board for me, and a couple stories that'll tie all this together. I was presented with the opportunity to be the president of the club. I was kind of, down the ways, asked. And what I said was at the time, I said, I apologize. Everybody can hear me okay? I said, I have a young family. I'm extremely busy. I'm going to have to, it's a great opportunity, but I'm going to have to turn it down. Within 2 minutes, I don't think this was planned, but Wesley walks into my office at Enterprise. He says, hey, what's going on? I said, Ivan just called me, and I told him I couldn't do it. We'll have to find somebody else. And Wesley said, I'm too busy. The kids are too young. And he looked right at me. I'll never forget this. And he said, there is no other time than right now. Pick up the phone and call him back. I'll help you. And I said, okay. I pick up the phone. Ivan, did you already call somebody else? He goes, no. I go, did you already fill the spot? No. I said, okay, I've got some support. I'm going to do it. And fast forward to that with Chad, that was one of the best years of my life, being able to be the president of Rotary Club and being so involved. But really behind the scenes, I'm just the guy up here making jokes and doing all this kind of stuff. It was really, really Wesley helping me every step of the way. So I want to thank you for that because that year changed my life in many, many ways. Rotary, what you put in, it gives back double. So I definitely have enjoyed all of those at that time. Wesley grew a beard. I followed in his footsteps there. I think I haven't passed. But I just enjoy the fellowship and the time that we spend. And really Wesley's dedication, not only to there's so many different avenues that he is so dedicated to within Rotary, outside of Rotary, a father, a grandfather, a friend, a mentor. So it's been a great ride. So Wesley, love you. Thank you.
Well, again, following the three of them, I don't know what more I can say, except Ryan told me to come up with a funny story, and I was like, I just don't even feel like that's appropriate at this point because I didn't have three people in front of me giving funny stories. But I do have to echo the comments that have been made. When I came in to go through the chairs as president, and I came in as secretary, and I leaned over to Matthew and I said, that same speech that Jason's giving about Wes, I'm giving about you at some point, because he convinced me to do this, and I was concerned that I had too much time. I didn't have enough time and things like that. And I went to the district training when I became secretary. And I nearly threw up because they listed all this stuff that you have to do. And I was like, wait a minute. None of you guys told me any of that. Is it too late for me to back up? And everybody was like, no, it's fine. You'll have a lot of help. And that was so true. To this day, I've been the secretary treasurer, I've been the president-elect, I've been the president, I'm the immediate past president, and there's still stuff I don't understand how it happens. But all signs point back to Wes, that behind the scenes, he's doing all of the little stuff that is so critical to make a club like this run that people just don't even think about and see. And that's what means so much about this award, is that behind the scenes, somebody's making the motor run, and 9 times out of 10, if Wes isn't doing it, he's pulling the strings on it, or he's arranged somebody, or he's convinced somebody that that's their role and that they were going to be better off by helping out with Rotary. So Wes, thank you again for your friendship, for including me in your family. I've had the opportunity to join his family for dinners. Again, he's just become a really special friend, so thank you.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call up District Governor Mickey Ulmer, Wes, District nominee, of course, our District-elect, Dale, come on up. District nominee designate, Ed Lombard. And gentlemen, present, or do you want to say something? Of course.
District governors and microphones. I just want to say, there's a word, you may have heard this word, Mensch, the Yiddish term. I'm looking at a Mensch. Mensch is someone always you count on, someone that is always there, someone that leads and follows at the same time. We have discussed, some people and I, in Rotary, that we'd like to have a Rotary Mensch Award. It has been discussed. And I always point this way when I said, there's the example. Love you, buddy.
Okay. Well, Wes, on behalf of the district, thank you very much.
Well, thank you for all the kind words that everyone said. It's an understatement if I said that I'm humbled and embarrassed. You know, there's no award in Rotary that would be more meaningful to me than one that was named after a great Rotarian, and that's Brent Williams. Those of us who know Brent know how committed he was to Rotary. But this award is really not my award. This award belongs to the people you see up here and those of you out here who have worked with me throughout the years. So I'd like to thank all of you for what you did. Finally, I have to calm down a little bit. There's one person who's been with me my Rotary journey. That person has always encouraged me. When a task came along, a project came along, that person said, do it. That's my best friend, the love of my life, Marcia. Come on down. I love you. Come on down.
Took the long way around. Get over here.
Do I have to say something? No. Okay. He said I didn't have to say anything. Okay. Well, that guy saved my life. In 1990, we got married, and we had to get married right on the Saturday after the Wild Game Feast. And he's been a father to my children, and I just can't even begin to tell you how passionate this whole thing has been. It's just been wonderful. And Randy, thank you for being one of the people that introduced me to Wesley, and it's just been awesome. Thank you.
Thank you again. And I would, before I turn this back over to President Ryan, before I turn it back over to you, I do have to acknowledge the fact that Greg indeed did a great job in putting this nomination package together. And yes, I did borrow a few comments from that package because of that. In Rotary, we shamelessly steal from each other and give credit. And thank you, Greg. I appreciate it. So, President Ryan, I now return the podium back to you, sir. Thank you.
Yes, Greg, thank you very much. I know it took a lot of effort to put all that together. Great job. Really appreciate it. Matthew, Jason, and Linda, thank you for your kind words up here. That was really meaningful. Wesley, there's no one more deserving of this award than you. You are the glue that holds this club together, which I know firsthand as serving as president. Through this Rotary year, you've been a lifesaver, you've been an enabler, and most importantly, you've been a friend. Thank you very much. Well, that wraps up today's program. Next week, our speaker will be Helen Kornblum and Marcia Kiner for the Middle School Service Above Self Award. The quote of the week is none other. It has been recited several times today, but I felt it would only be appropriate. This quote comes from Wesley's grandson, Ryan, and service isn't service if you get too much credit. The Rotary Reading Safari number is 200. 200. With that, the meeting is adjourned.